All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have a special episode today, kind of a makeshift pod slash interview, if you call it. I'm here with the one and only Colby McMahon. He is the owner of Essential Cabinets and Flooring. I was lucky enough to partner with him, learn from him when we both started this cabinet business back in the day here locally in Phoenix, Arizona. Since then, he's scaled this to what now? Over seven figures, multiple seven figures?
Several, yeah.
Several multiple figures, and I've learned a lot from him. So wanted to bring you on and essentially pick your brain, give advice to anybody out there right now who's scaling their local business, and kind of get some insights. If that's all cool with you,
Yes. Thank you.
of
Thanks for the
course.
kind words, buddy.
You bet.
It's
So
always a pleasure.
of course. So right off the bat, how did you get into the cabinet business, and kind of give the brief summary of your background and why you're this successful entrepreneur at 25 years old?
26 now. But yeah, so I started as a realtor when I went to college for a year. We met via GCU, Grand Canyon University.
Yep.
I went there for 1 year. I did not do very well, and it was not for me. It was mechanical engineering. I was like, this is not for me. So I was like, I want to get into real estate. I know you can make some money in it. So I went to the most expensive open house I could find a week before the end of my first year. And I asked this realtor, I was like, it's a $12 million house. I'd never even been in this part of town. I was like, what do I do to sell houses like this? So she introduced me to her boss. He basically was like, hey, come to meet me at Starbucks the next day. He gave me a job, told me to drop out of school, and he's like, I'll pay for your real estate license. So, all right, fine, let's do it. So I did that, and I just hustled for a year and a half, made some money as a realtor, and then I was like, you know what, I should start buying houses. These guys are making a lot of money. So I bought my first house at 20. I've done probably 70, 80 flips now. And yeah, it's awesome. So the house flips are still my main, I get excited about them because it's so much fun. But that was kind of my first start into business. And then when rates started going up, I had bought probably 15, 20 properties with this guy. We were going to aggregate a portfolio of single family and small multifamily affordable housing properties. And he got nervous about the market when rates went up. So I bought him out, sold most of them. And I was like, what do I do now? Because I was nervous about flips. So I was like, well, why don't I build a business around my sphere? Why don't I go sell some products to everyone I know? And everyone was in real estate. So I was like, all right, I'll bring some cabinets to the table and start selling them. And recruited Tyler. He came and helped me start it. So yeah, it was pretty amazing. It grew very quickly considering my sphere was in the space, and then we both hustled for a while. Then the team grew, so now there's a decent sized team. Tyler left a year and a half ago or so. Something like that. But yeah, I mean, the first year we did $2.5 million in sales, and then we're growing gradually, but pretty cool. I'm pretty uninvolved. I'm more focused on just trying to figure out how to scale right now. I have a general contracting business as well, and then I'm starting a cabinet manufacturing business in Austin, which is a cool opportunity that came up. So, yeah.
Why do you think that you're so driven to want to succeed? Because you didn't come from trust fund money. You didn't come from family money. Much respect because you busted your balls to get to where you are, cold calling, all that. Seriously. So why do you think you have that drive compared to other people our age who might not have that?
I don't think I've ever thought I couldn't do something. I think that it's a lack of fear and a confidence in myself. I think that anybody in this day and age can. I mean, we were talking about this yesterday. My dad wanted to be an entrepreneur, failed. My grandpa wanted to be an entrepreneur, failed. My mom wanted to be an entrepreneur, no one ever made it big, right? They're making $100,000 a year, but that's just a normal. I mean, that's barely enough to live right now, in this day and age. So, I think that if they were in this modern era of information is so accessible, I think they would probably all have succeeded because they were all just good energy, focused, thought big, but there's a lack of information. I think also there's doers and there's people that overanalyze And then there's people that are just not doers, and I'm definitely a doer. I think about things, I strategize it in my mind. If it makes sense to me, I act. And it's bit me in the ass a couple times, but generally, I can pick myself back up quickly.
Okay, so why do you think that taking that sledgehammer approach of
I don't know if it's a sledgehammer approach.
like the approach of just do, and you think about it, but you don't ruminate, you don't overthink it, you just go for it versus someone who maybe thinks about all angles and then acts. Like, how do you come to a decision quicker than everybody else? Like, what's a tactical piece of information?
I listen.
Okay.
I mean, I've put myself in front of some very, very smart people and I've asked them questions. And I'm curious. I mean, same as you. Like I'm very curious about how things operate. So like if I'm interested in a topic or in a business or in something, I will ask as many questions as it takes for me to understand in my mind fully how that operates. Right? So I'm basically building a picture in my head of that. And if I'm missing a piece, then I'll think about it and then I'll say, all right, well, how about this? How about this? And then I want to fully identify like what that picture looks like and how to do that.
And how do you do that when it comes to all these mentors that you surround yourself with? You just joined EO. Like, how do you retain all this information instead of just, forget it? Because that's one thing that you're very skilled at is you actually retain it. Like, you ask questions, you retain.
I mean, I only ask questions for stuff that are important.
Sure.
I mean, like you can BS all the time, but like the things that I'm gonna retain are like the things that I'm gonna ask or specifically gonna ask to build that picture. Once I have the picture, I'm not gonna lose the picture.
How do you get that confidence though? Is it from
What confidence?
the confidence to go out there and crush it and hit numbers like you are at a young age? Like, do you ever get imposter syndrome, or is that just not even, a thought in your mind because you've just done it so many times?
I think you need to surround yourself with better people if you feel like you can't, if you're not doing good enough, or if you're doing too well.
When is the fine line between networking, shaking hands, meeting all the, big players or whatever, versus just, hey, actually buckling down and doing the work and not going out there and networking? Like, how do you draw that line?
I mean, there's a balance to life and everything. I think you need to. I think there's phases of life and there's times of life that things are gonna come in place and they're gonna happen how they happen, and you need to take advantage of the people in your life. I mean, not take advantage, but like utilize the relationships you have to learn and grow. And like what I've realized is people and phases of life are so transient. Like you and I could be friends, best friends now. In 2 years, we could not be talking to each other, which hopefully that's not the case. But like it's happened many times in my life with many different people.
Yeah.
But I've taken so much from those relationships and they've taken so much from me. Like it's, as long as you're like living life, like, hey, I'm a curious person. I want to provide value as well. And I'm just gonna be a good human. I think you'll extract what you need to extract. And I think you'll give what you need to give. And I think that's just what you do. I think that's life.
So do you see every relationship as from more transactional from a value perspective? Like if someone can't add value to you and your business, will you
No.
not spend time with them? Or can people add value in other ways? Like, through
Absolutely.
fun and
Everyone can add value in any way. I mean, I certainly lack in areas that someone that's not financially successful can help me with. I mean, we've talked about this many times. I think it's, like I said, just being a good human. I try to be as present as possible, which I'm been really bad at recently just because I'm so focused and I have so much going on. But if you're just present and you listen and you're curious and just a good person, you can learn. You can. I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna not talk to someone and if I think they're a good person and I like them.
right.
If they're not successful,
How do you juggle all the balls in the air with, your team?
it's
Everything.
hard. I mean, I try to. The thing I've been focusing on right now is just empowering people and aligning people with my mission. So, at Essential Cabinets and Flooring, the basic kitchen dealer contracting business, specialty contracting business, I have Lauren, who's my office manager, and then the team. And Lauren is incentivized to help make sure that the company makes money. And then the team, most of the team, like especially the guys that bring in the money, are high commission, low salary. So they're not making enough money to live really like they're bringing in commission. So it's like, all right, there's like I have to get good people and get them aligned with what I'm looking for. The the general contracting business, I have Jake, who started as my project manager for my flips. He got his general contracting license, and now he's going to be a partner in the business with me, and we're crushing it right now. I mean, we started 6 months ago, and I mean, we're crushing it. It's pretty sweet. And so I was like, well, why don't you just stop taking a salary and you just come as an owner? And so he'll be an owner with me, and he runs everything. I trust him to run everything. I hired him an assistant who I utilize in some aspects, but he mostly for the contracting business. And then I'm helping him, and he's helping build systems and processes around it. And then I'm big picture. I have a controller that's handling all the financial stuff. I'm hiring a marketing person to help grow the businesses. In addition to so basically, I'm right now I'm forming this like with private equity, they have someone's going to have a private equity fund that wants to go buy home service businesses. Yeah. They're going to find someone that's doing $5 to $10 million in EBITDA net per year. And they're going to say, hey, we're going to buy your business for 10x, whatever, 8x. Great. So they buy the business. They're going to go to this business, the people in the business and say, hey, we're now going to empower you guys and fund smaller acquisitions. And we're going to use your platform, your book, your financial structure, all of the main business functions that you have, and we're going to roll those up from the companies that we buy. So how I'm looking at it is, instead of buying the companies, I'm starting out with, all right, I have these easy leads that I can utilize and capitalize off of in these 3 different businesses. So I'm going to just basically build my own little platform company and then eventually start buying businesses.
When it comes to incentivizing your team to run and operate the business without you, do you think a salary is good enough, or would you give them a % of profit share or some type of...
Be careful with that. It's very dependent on who it is, how long they've been with you. I think a big salary is fine for someone. I think bonus structures are great. I think giving equity is a terrible idea unless it's I don't unless it's a strategic situation. Like with Jake, with his license, he has to be an owner in the company anyways. Unless I'm just going to pay him a big salary. And anyways, that's a long story. But I was like, yeah, I'll just give you some equity in the business, and then let's run it. You have the license. I'm the business man generally, and it really depends. Everything's different.
How about phantom equity? Would you ever...
I mean, it depends on what it is. Sure. I mean, provide enough value and I'll give you anything.
Sure.
I just want good people, and if you're someone that I can't live without, I will 100% figure out a way to retain you.
How do you go about sourcing A-player talent?
It's really tough. Referrals have been the best scenario. They say hire slow, fire fast. I hire really fast. I shouldn't, but I do, and then I fire fast. You saw me go through a lot of people, and if I don't feel like you're a winner within a couple weeks, I'm usually firing you, or pushing you away, so that to see if you'll pick yourself up and do it, and usually they don't. So, yeah, I mean that's how we've gotten such a good team now.
How do you when it comes to training though? If you don't train them properly or onboard them or give them the tools necessary to succeed in those first 3 weeks, do you ever break that down? How do you know it's them versus lack of training through management?
Well, if you have a small business, then you have to have people that are problem solvers and not cogs in a wheel. You need people that can think for themselves. And starting a business, that's exactly what you need. So I'm not the guy to train someone. I'm the guy to say, this is what I'm looking for, and I want you to figure it out.
Minor little technical difficulty. We're back now. Long story short, do you give them an SOP, or you don't even do any of that? You just throw them in the deep end and say, figure it out.
I mean, you should probably give them some guidance.
Sure.
I just don't. That's just not how I am, to be honest. There's people, there's different types of business owners. There's people that are more sales lead, biz dev type guys, big picture. That's who I am. And then there's people that are more methodical and more like engineer mind, more systems oriented. And then there's like a balance, but typically it's one or the other. Like you have the visionary and then the integrator. As a visionary, I lack that very much so. The ability to like I can write it down, but then I'm just gonna give it to you, and then
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say figure it out.
Actually
so it's like
implementing the systems.
yeah, I'm like a build. I'm a vision, build, delegate kind of guy.
When you speak, you obviously have a lot of confidence. Do you think that confidence in how you say things, even like how you're talking right now, you're like, okay, it's this, this, this. Do you think you've always had that and that's just your personality? Or do you think you've earned that because of your track record?
I think it's both. I think I've solidified my belief in myself as I've gotten older and some success. I think that, like, I remember high school and before, like, being kind of the nerdy guy. I mean, I wasn't nerdy, but I just wasn't, like, the cool guy. But I feel like everyone had their little phases, I guess. But I don't know. I feel like I've always been a curious person and always been, like, eager to be the best. And I've put myself around the people, even in high school, to be the cool guy. Like, that was the thing I tried to do. And figure out what I'm good at and be good at that. And then, like, I was pretty good with chicks in high school. Whatever. Cut that out. But
do you think that external validation is a good thing or a bad thing overall?
I think it's a good thing if you have humility. If you have humility and audit yourself.
Do you do a good job of that?
Yes,
How often do you audit yourself?
every day.
How?
I think about things I say. I think about how I operated in a certain environment. I think of how I could have done everything better, if certain things better, or if like I analyze a lot of things. If someone responds to me in a way I thought was interesting, I'll think about what I said and why they responded that way. I think I'm always trying to learn and make sure myself better.
Do you think to succeed in business, quote unquote, succeed, you have to be kind of sharkish in a way and put yourself out there? Or do you think you can be the nice guy and still make it to the very top?
I mean, elaborate.
Do you think that you need to have kind of a shark mentality?
Define that.
I would say more so like Kevin O'Leary, more like a Mark Cuban, more like a I'm going to do what it takes, and this might burn this bridge, this might kill this relationship, but I'm going to have a net gain from it.
What makes you think that they operate like that?
I think that in business, I've met a lot of people who have a shark mentality, and they just want to win by any means necessary because they care about the dollar.
I don't think you should
And
surround
so
yourself with people like that.
Of course, but you'd be lying to say like you've never met people like that either. And I think it's not a binary like, oh, he is a shark or he's not a shark. It's a continuum of like, how much of a shark is he?
Yeah, I agree with that. I think you have to have a level of like, I'm a winner, and I'm gonna win, but you also have to be a good person. Like you have to be a good human and just love people.
So when you're negotiating, like earlier, we were just in the room, you're negotiating a price with a contractor. He's saying 14 grand. You're saying 12 grand. He said 13 grand and you said 12,500. And he finally bent the knee to you.
Yes.
With that said, like, would you have actually,
the other day I got a stucco guy from 17 to 12
okay. So
just by hanging out with him and talking some Spanish, being funny,
right.
telling him to buy his wife some flowers.
So how much of that is authentic versus like, it's all kind of a game. Like, okay, I'm not intentionally schmoozing, but you're like, would you actually have paid him 14 grand or would you have actually paid him 17 grand? Or is that going to be like a no, it must be this number or else I'm going to go to someone else? Like how much of it is a game versus
I prefer,
price?
I need to feel comfortable with the price. I wanted to be at 10 grand originally. 12.5 seemed more appropriate than 14. 12 seemed more appropriate than 14. I conceded, and he also conceded. but I don't think it's. I think as long as he agrees to it and I agree to it, I'm gonna pay him, and he's as long as he's happy. I mean, I've worked with this guy for years, so I think there's obviously some sort of. It's fun sometimes though. Like the stucco guys, like, and my framer, he was awesome. He referred me to the stucco guy. Stucco guy quoted 17 grand, and the framer's there too. And we're all just walking around, and I'm like, the dude doesn't speak a lick of English, the stucco guy, and so the framer's like translating, and then I know a little bit of Spanish, so I'm just joking around, and I don't know. I think I'm gonna be like that whether I'm trying to negotiate or not. I'm just like a fun guy. I try to be, and yeah, I just thought of mushrooms when I said that, but.
The fun guy.
I try to be a fun guy, and it plays into how I negotiate for sure. I mean, I literally answered the phone like "Que pasa, Mufasa" to this Spanish guy, and he goes "Que onda," which is like it's just funny, and he knows I'm gonna. I mean, the chances that he's inflating his price from the jump to make me because he knows I'm gonna negotiate with him are probably pretty high. But I don't know. You never know. I feel comfortable, and he feels comfortable. That's all that matters.
Do you think paying more though would make him
No.
him want to do a better job? Or
No.
do you
I
think
give him a lot of business.
Okay.
I mean, it's gonna take him a week. He's getting
course.
paid $12,500. He's got several other projects he's working on. Like the dude's, as a tradesman who's actually in the field, he's doing just fine. And if he didn't want to do it, he would tell me. At least that's how I operate. And then if he has resentment, then that's his problem. Like, communicate. You know?
Why do you do all this? Like, what's the point of it? Is it just to get points? Like, money's points. It's all a game. You do it for the thrill of the game. Are you trying to hit a certain number? Are you trying to buy something? Is it just like we're all gonna die if we're here for a finite amount of time? What's the point?
So Tyler asked me this last night too at dinner.
Yeah, but the audience needs to know.
What?
The audience needs.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm giving context, and we had this conversation.
Thanks for the context.
You're so welcome. So, I think that there's levels to it. I think that there's a level where there's things that I enjoy about working, and there's things that I don't enjoy about working. And there's a level of I'm required to work and a level of I desire to work. So how I look at money is, am I at a position where I'm required to work? Or am I in a position where I just do this because I love it? And I think there can be a balance of both. But until you have the I don't need to anymore, I'm doing this for fun, I think there's always going to be this thing lingering over my head, at least, that makes me a little more stressed and a little more like anxious about it. And I think that is a specific number that you need to have to, hey, I can put this in a 5% money market and get whatever, 500 grand a year.
What is that number for you?
I don't know, $10 million probably cash.
And then after 10 million, it's just all fun.
Yeah. It's like, all right, I have enough money to never have to work and live a good life. Now let's like take some more risk. Let's do some stuff that's fun. Let's do some stuff that's interesting that I really enjoy. And it could be the same thing that I'm doing now, but it's like, all right, it's just a level of pressure off my head, I think. It's like I'm set, my family's probably set, like my extended family's probably set if I died. Like, you know what I mean? Like no one's ever made that kind of money, and even $500,000 a year in my family besides me. And it's, So I don't know. That's how I look at it. I think being present and focusing on the things and that you enjoy alongside making money is really important too. And I've really struggled with that the last year, and it's really fucked with me. Excuse my language. I've been miserable, like mentally foggy, tired, anxious, and I'm very focused recently on just getting back in my routine, getting like just like enjoying and being present. I think it's really important to not lose sight of that.
Break that down into actionable steps.
I mean, to me, it's I was drinking a lot in addition to being very stressed, and it was kind of like a self-medication. So it's like I'm stressed, putting my body in a bad place for a long period of time, months, probably over a year. And as I'm doing that, I'm drinking, and it's progressively making me more and more stressed. Like it feels great while I'm drinking, and then it's like, all right, now I don't feel. Now I wake up, the hangovers are worse, or it lasts longer, or I'm whatever. My focus isn't as good. I don't feel as excited and motivated. Like this is the least motivated I've felt in my entire life. Because I just feel like I'm I mean I'm still very motivated, probably more than most, but I feel like I'm I'm most motivated to just feel healthy and good again and present and just peace. Like I want to be able to just sit down outside and just for an hour without my phone and just listen to the birds.
Would you ever quit what you're doing and work a 9 to 5? If you got
They
paid
pay me a couple $1,000,000 a year, yeah. Why not?
You would.
Yeah, fuck yeah. I mean, dude, there's a ton of risk and anxiety that comes in owning a business. Like the payroll, the rent, the everything. It's like, all right, I have to manage cash flow. I have to, like, if we have a bad month, like you had, and like this month, I mean, it's fine, whatever. It'll probably be all right. But I mean, I have buckets, so it doesn't really matter. Like I make $100,000 on a house, and then I lose 20 grand on a business.
Right.
Whatever.
How do you balance being in your 20s with relationships, but also wanting to get ahead? Like I've taken the approach, or I hear the approach, like, why chase a butterfly when you can build a garden, especially when it comes to dating. But if you're in your mid 20s or early 20s or late 20s, most people are not, working nonstop. They are having fun. So how do you strike a balance? Do you feel like you need to just bunker down until you can hit a certain number and then have fun, and to live like no one else so you can live like no one else? Or is it a balance of, hey, no, I'm going to go have fun, but I'm also going to bust my balls during the week?
Dude, I travel a lot. I do a lot of fun stuff. I'm working now more than I ever have. Like it's interesting. I talk about this a lot too. Is I have the house flips. Like I can go make a lot of money with not a ton of energy. It's like I find a deal. I have a project manager, whatever, and it's like it's easy to do. At least for me, especially in the high end, I can go make 6 figures on each house and go do 10 a year.
Yeah.
The interesting part is, all right, I have this business that's we'll do whatever, $3 million this year, 2 years, whatever, our second full year. And it's like, I just like it makes 10%, less than 10% net. It's like, we'll make less than 300 grand. And it's like, all right, I can do that, make that in 2 house flips.
Right.
And it's a lot of, I have payroll and I have all this employees and like brain damage, it feels like sometimes. So I'm in that boat where I'm like, dude, I could just go flip houses and live a fucking sick life.
Yeah. So why don't you?
Because I'm building something has enterprise value. Like the flips don't have, I can go make a lot of money flipping houses in active income.
Yeah.
I want businesses that are producing cash flow, and that cash flow has an enterprise value of X amount, and I can go sell it down the road.
Yeah, but does a business really have enterprise value if it's a 10% margin and a 30% margin industry standard business?
30% margin industry standard is not accurate at all.
Okay, so
The
roughly
cabinet
it's
floor-
higher than 10%.
No, it's not. 10%.
10%.
10% is like average. Everyone I've talked to, people doing $10, $20 million a year, 10%.
That's just, it's so different from my business where it's like 70%. Like I can't
Like not 70%.
It's 70% minus ads. Gross, yeah. Well, we run ads.
I'm a big net profit kind of guy. I mean, our gross profit's 35.
Well, yeah. I mean, it depends. If I shut off ads, it's 70. It's probably like 75 if I shut off
But
ads.
then you don't have business.
Referrals, word of mouth, it's just not as high. It's just it's just building the snowball.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you ran ads, obviously that'd dip lower. And you're not even running ads really right now. You started to, but then you stopped. But
What would run lower?
Your gross.
I mean, perhaps. I mean, but the ads we'd be running would be for more consumer focus.
Right.
So we'd have higher margin on those anyways.
Right. So going back though, would you have changed like since starting the business? You've always gone for flippers and more volume based that way you can negotiate better, deals with your suppliers and everything. Would you have gone back now knowing what you know, especially having such little margins, and saying, "Hey, I'm going to go after luxury and charge a lot and not be a low cost leader"?
No, I mean, there's a ton of risk in that still. It's the people installer issues. I mean, there's a ton of risk in that. I think I built it perfectly in my head. I think it's built where we can continue to grow B2B with contractors, house flippers, get into like more production home, multifamily, that kind of stuff. The reason I'm starting, like the general contracting business is much higher margin right now. I mean, our margins are pretty fucking great. And then I have the manufacturing business, which is also going to have very high margin. And they're all verticals of each other. So I have the ability to like run ads for the general contracting business. The general contracting business is going to fulfill those ads and then purchase the cabinet in flooring and countertops from Essential. And then Essential's going to buy the cabinets from my manufacturing company. So they all feed each other. And then they're also going to all have their own, I don't know where I was going with this, but yeah. Like it's all vertically integrated to scale. And I'm increasing the margin and figuring out a way to use the cash flow from each of them to build the best systems for all of them in aggregate, if that makes sense.
So for someone like me, what's more important, enterprise value and building something you could sell for millions down the road, or cash flow? What would you optimize?
Whatever you want, dude.
What would you think is best?
Both?
Of
I mean,
course,
I have
both.
flips for cash flow,
Yeah.
and then I'm building enterprise value with this.
Okay.
I would not be able to do this right now with my lifestyle
If you didn't have the flips.
if I didn't have the flips or the cash that I've made over the last couple, like 6 years. Whatever.
So if you're just getting into entrepreneurship, you'd say focus more on cash flow, get your bag up, and then start a business that has more enterprise value that you can actually exit.
Or it's both. I mean, I could have. I mean, our gross profit.
Chase rabbits.
Our gross
Chase two
profit
rabbits.
$800,000
You
a
can't
year.
get both though, right?
No, you're wrong. I mean, it depends. Like every business is different, and how you build the business is different. I could go bust my ass in the cabinet and flooring business and make our gross profit's $800,000 before I pay rent, payroll, whatever. Our payroll's $500,000 a year, right? Mm-hmm. So if the company makes $250,000 or $200,000 without like just net right now with all these employees, I could go fire. I could keep $100,000 worth of that and go make another $400,000.
Yeah,
that's cash flow, and then I could gradually increase enterprise value by hiring more people and doing more things. But like, I just don't want to be involved with the day to day. I'm very focused on the scale. And some people, like most people, have to do it that way. They have to start with, hey, I have to live my life and provide for my family. So I'm going to build this business to produce cash flow, and they slowly build enterprise value. I think that's how most people do it. I just did it backwards, and I hired people and said, I don't want to be involved with this day to day. I want to focus on scaling.
Do you think that's every business owner should focus on scaling and not be involved day to day, or do you think that's just your specific style?
I mean, it depends if they have the ability to. Yeah, sure. Have money and have resources and have the ability to not require income from that. And sure, yeah, go build it. That's what I'd say.
What's something that you've learned that you wish you knew earlier when you started, like, let's call it 5 years ago, but that you know right now?
That's an interesting question.
It's a great question.
It's a really good question.
Show some humility.
Interesting. I mean, it depends, because there's like, what are you gonna say?
I was gonna say, besides not going to that barber.
It's rough.
Anyways, go on.
So bad.
the barber.
Chop.
He should have paid you for that guy.
80-year-old woman. So
That was brutal.
she said I was the youngest cut she's done in 3 years. I'm like, oh,
Just show
God.
the back of his hair is like
okay.
it's like wait. He said it's okay. All right, go on. What's the answer?
I mean, are we talking personal or business?
Both.
I think the biggest thing is the thing I talked about earlier that I've still struggle with is really be intentional about don't get caught up in the business where you lose your mindset and your health and your ability to like still be present. Like I miss the like I'm still goofy and fun and whatever, but like I miss the like fun only Colby. And it's obviously a requirement of getting older and being in business, but I think that I certainly pushed too far in one direction for a while, just business, and I missed being just like loose and free, you know.
Yeah.
So now I'm focused on that again, and it's good, and I like it, and I sit in the sun and I try to relax for a little bit, in addition to working hard. I think you have to be able to balance both. And that was my struggle. I think that a lot of people struggle with that. It's interesting, like in EO, Entrepreneurs Organization, it's like a whatever the program you have to qualify for, and then you pay, and you have a forum of like 8 to 10 people you meet with monthly, and then they have events. Like in Arizona, there's 220 people in the chapter. And it's funny, like a lot of the conversations are about stress, and like 90% of the people are stressed in their business. And it's like, what is the point? What is the point? If you feel miserable or you're tired all the time and stressed, like what's the point? And you really have to dig into that. And are you okay sacrificing for whatever period of time it's going to take to get you to the point where you don't have to be stressed? Or are you able to like put systems in place around your life to avoid that stress and have good stress like maintenance, whatever.
So you think there is that nirvana? It's not like one or the other. Because what's the alternative, right? You're working for someone else.
Yeah,
So
pay me a couple $1 million a year and I will work for you. It's like, yeah, I think it's interesting.
what's your why?
I don't know.
You don't know. Why
I've
you do
struggled
all
with
this?
purpose a lot recently.
Oh.
I think that there's like I have a couple different lives, like things I enjoy. Like I buckets of friends in each of those. And I think there's the like, let's go to dinner, a fancy dinner and drinks late on a Tuesday. And it's like, all right, I enjoy a lot of that. But like people do that every night. And it's just not me. And I also got caught into that. And then there's the, hey, let's go like into the forest and just like sit around a fire and hang out and sing songs and vibe out. Sober. Perfect. Let's do it.
Yeah.
And then there's the like, yeah, I don't know. I have a lot of different interests in things I enjoy. So
To kind of wrap things up, what's the
you sick of this?
greatest?
You sick of talking to me?
Yeah. What's the greatest piece of advice you've ever heard?
Dude, that's tough. I don't recall stuff like that so fast. It's like movies. When someone asks me like I don't understand how people can quote movies often. I can quote like songs if I like have listened to the song 3,000 times, but
You got time. People won't click off. They want to hear the answer.
yeah. I don't know, dude. I mean, there's like the business answers, and
Yeah.
then there's like the mixed answers, and then like the personal answers.
Just pick one.
I mean, in business, I'll just say cop out. But in business, it's like, all right, as a realtor, I would focus on, and we talked about this yesterday. I would grind getting listings, $2 million listings. Like that was my whole thing. I'm 19 years old, just cold calling these people, and I'd get the listings, and then I'd talk to my like team lead, and I'd say, hey, like these listings aren't selling. Like, what can I do to get more listings? And or to sell these listings. And he's like, go get more listings. And he's like, as long as you're putting the energy and everything that you can into those listings, like they're gonna do what they're gonna do. Like there's not much else you can do to sell the house. And that may or may not have been true, but it's an interesting life like thought where it's like, all right, if you're struggling with this, just go get more business. Like anybody that's out there struggling, all you have to do is get more business and then figure it out and just do the best you can with it. And then go like, I don't know. That's how I look at it. And that's what I've always been like. And that's why we've done well with Essential. And that's why I've done well, I think, in anything. I'm just willing to do it and push.
All right, where can the people find you?
This is gonna be funny, but I'm not gonna say it. Let's Colby McMahon _ on Instagram. You can text me, DM him for my phone number. Preferably attractive women.
Kill me.
Yeah, that's it. Colby
Right.
McMahon _
Good show. You heard it here. Thank you for coming on. Cheers.
Bye.